y'all, welcome to Whiz, Babble. I'm here with my girl Yanni.
Hey y'all.
We are here today to talk about women, uplifting other women, queen power, all that stuff, how important it is. So you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, girl? Let them know what you're about.
Yeah. So my name is Yanni. I'm an entrepreneur out of Tucson. I've been, in the creative entrepreneur space now for going on 4 years actually this month.
Yes.
So I'm excited. So I started, my journey back in 2020 when I just needed a change in my life. So I just kind of got into the entrepreneur world. Didn't really know what I was walking into,
Yeah, nobody does.
Yeah.
Nobody ever does.
So, I just walked into it, and I just had started with lashes, and then I got bored. So I just started with the boutique because I'm a type of person, I like to express myself through fashion. Mm-hmm. So, and I know a lot of other people do as well. So that was, once I launched my boutique, the eyelashes were good for me, but I found once I launched my boutique, that right there helped me connect to other women, mm-hmm. because, and it wasn't even just other women, it was everybody in general, just because everyone likes fashion, and it's, not, if somebody wears something and somebody else thinks oh, that don't match, it doesn't matter because you're expressing yourself. So
yeah, there's something you can't deny when someone's feeling themselves.
Yep.
Regardless of what's going on, how your judgment on that and how you personally feel about whatever they're wearing or doing, if they are feeling themselves, you can't tell them nothing.
Nope.
You can't. You don't even want to. It that effect is powerful. Feeling yourself and just uplifting yourself and stuff.
Yeah.
That's great.
Exactly, and when you see somebody feeling their style, you just like to encourage them, encourage them and, let them know you like their outfit and stuff. So, and then I also am a business mentor as well. I kind of put that on hold for a little bit, but I am getting back into that. So I am creating a mentorship program, more for people who are just starting out. And I will offer some classes as well for people who have been in it for a little while and they just need more insight or more information,
yeah,
on entrepreneurship and when it comes to social media marketing and things like that. But I'm more focused on people who are just coming in because I know what it was like to once be in that position, and not have a lot of money to invest in a mentor and stuff like that. So I want to make my program affordable for people who are looking to get into entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I love that.
Boss, so.
I love that. That's awesome. Yeah, because yeah, it's hard. It's hard to start off and just barely have enough capital for whatever you are producing or selling, right? And then not having any capital for anything else, any other kind of support. And I really appreciate you for that in general. You've always been that person in my life to just really be there for support and what is it, moral support? Yeah. As far as an entrepreneur and just being a woman, just doing their thing in this world. So thank you for that.
Of course.
And I love that you have it in you to really put that out there for other people. And I can't wait to see what you do with that because, we need that.
And I'm just always here, I like to support other people's I see the vision, I see people's vision. I see long term, and especially when I see people struggling, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm about to give up, just encourage. You don't know how far. Just encouraging them, giving them those encouraging words. That could be sink or swim for them. Oh, I remember what so and so told me on this day. I'm not gonna give up. So I like to be because you know, when I need that, other people are there for me. And, you know, I like to just be able to be that person that people can go to talk to.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. And I mean, that's cool. Like, not everyone has it in them to be that person shit for themselves, let alone like others. So you're a powerful woman, Manny. I appreciate you. And then, you know, like I feel like there's so much like private consulting for big companies who have the money to spend, you know, thousands on that for someone just to tell them what to do. But to mentor someone is really intimate, I feel like, compared to that. And like you said, that positive reinforcement goes a long way. It's really, you know, the differentiating point. That's a big word. It's really it's really the point where like someone will either, yeah, like you said, oh, they told me that, I'm not gonna give up, I'm gonna keep going, or like, yeah, fuck this, like I give up. So yeah, that is huge. Let's see. So let's see. We're talking about women supporting women specifically, just because I feel like it's just so fucking important.
Oh yes.
I know. I do believe it's very important for women and men to both uplift each other as well. But I feel like we're just so fucking different.
Oh yeah, and you know, with like to touch on that, I just think it's important to support women because a lot of the times I feel like we're in like people think we're in competition with one another when it's really not like that, you know?
Yeah.
And one thing that since I've been an entrepreneur, I've learned like it's okay to support other people that are even in your same industry, you know, because what I've learned is when I first started out, I wasn't supporting other people who sold lashes. Like, oh, I don't want to hear about so-and-so's business. Like, it's all about my business, you know? But I, like, quickly learned, like, you're not going to go far in the entrepreneurship world, you know?
Yeah, you know, your competition are your stakeholders just as much as, you know, the community and your customers.
Yeah.
There is, you know, so... competition's interesting. I feel like it's healthy, right? There's a form of competition that's healthy, especially in business. But then at the same time, like to have a relationship with your competitors and just that competition is healthy because you're kind of like feeding off of each other and inspiring each other. But it's way better to look at it like that and remain like this support system, especially within certain industries, because just like women supporting women, because we're the only ones who really know what we go through, it's cool for you know, a hairstylist support a hairstylist, a braider to support a braider, a boutique owner to support a boutique owner, just because we know the specific struggles that we all face, like.
Yeah, and I believe, you know, that's so true. And like I said, it's all a learning process, because I just feel like, I don't know, my whole life, I kind of always felt like some type of like competition. And now just, you know, being an entrepreneur and like helping other women like start their journey in the entrepreneurship world, and it's not even just entrepreneurship, but it's just, you know, starting like that self-discovery journey too. It no longer like has to be a competition. I'm here to, you know, support you. So.
Yeah.
Also too, just I feel like because I think like growing up, like I was raised by my nana, but like I always had like a rocky relationship with my mom. So trying to trust another like woman, you know, and try to be supportive of them or have them be supportive of me, I always felt like I was always so standoffish because I'm like does everyone have bad intentions, you know?
Yeah, so, and I feel that. Yeah, I've experienced the same shit, and I still work on that. I still try to like redirect my mind to be more open to a woman just being cool and supporting her and her supporting me versus that bitch is hating on me.
Yeah.
Cause I feel like it can be a thing, and I feel like just like the nature of women and then men and like us competing for them, or you know, like on a real biological level and stuff like that, I feel like that trickles over into all the other stuff like business and all sorts of shit, and it's nasty, like it's toxic. I think there's something very like primal about it, like, you know, it's in us, like our instincts, but I don't really think it's necessary.
Yeah.
Like we don't have to be like malicious towards each other and shit. Like what the fuck? Because at the end of the day, like we have like the whole male species kind of suppressing us all the time. Always have, you know. Hopefully, you know, there will raise sons that will grow up to understand, you know, just how important women are in the sense of we're the reason why they're here. And literally, my son is 4, and I'm like trying to get him to understand that, because my son is 4, my daughter is 5, and they'll be fighting, and he'll hit her. So that's the whole conversation of like, no, you don't hit anybody, period. But you really need to hold like the utmost respect for women.
Yeah.
Why? Because how'd you get here, son? How are you here right now? Like that, I feel like that's just the basis of it. But yeah, we have all this suppression, and all this like the root of that that desire to want to compete with one another, and it's just so like nasty. But if we come together, if we set that aside and realize that it's on some like primal biological shit, and it's really not necessary, and it's not necessary, I'm like, damn, is it primal or is it like years of like narcissistic abuse? I don't know. And then there's that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but yeah, it's just so fucking important for us to like set that aside and support and uplift ourselves first and foremost, so that we can support and uplift each other, because, you know, we're in this together. Like the boys are in this together. We're never really gonna understand whatever struggles they have, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And they're not gonna understand ours. So yeah, I want to shout out to first the women who support and uplift themselves and other women, and also to the men who do that too. Not trying to like bash on all men. I really like love and appreciate the good men out there who understand the importance of their position, and how, you know, how important it is for them to really like uplift and support women as well. And, you know, for us to do that for a good man and for good women. Can we talk about how like I might not fuck with like every female? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no.
I need boundaries to protect myself from certain people in general, and it might just be specific types of women, you know?
Yeah.
That might not have this like open, supportive mindset that we have. Yeah.
And I want everyone to be able to, you know, get there, because it's about supporting one another, and that's how we're gonna get, you know, somewhere as a community. Is just being able to support one another.
Yeah.
I think it's really important.
It is important, yeah. And in that, yeah, we kind of have to like be open to and have hope to, for the people who aren't really about that life to, you know, just go about their path and hopefully learn why that's so important. So I wrote down in here how difficult it is for women to really support and uplift ourselves, because it can seem like everyone else requires our support, and kids, partners. Sometimes it's like our nurturing nature really takes over, and it's like we're really taking care of everybody but ourselves.
Yeah. You know, I've experienced that. And like me personally, like I'm not a mom, but at the same time, like there's a lot of, aspects of my life, work, entrepreneur, my business, my friends, and I'm always that type of I'm always that like listening ear for people. But then lately, I just been trying to like put myself first, and I always thought it was like selfish in a way. But then I'm like, no, I need to put myself first, because it's like you can't pour from an empty cup.
Yeah.
And it's like if you don't give yourself that time to like reset. Like I use Sundays now to basically try and reset. Yeah, I do work, but it's not like a real hard shift on Sundays. So I try to like just reset my mind for the week to come.
Yeah.
Because it can be a lot sometimes to try and just take on other people. Because when you listen to someone else's problems, sometimes you just automatically feel like you're taking them on.
Yeah, it's really hard to be there for someone and not take on those issues. The boundaries you have to have in your psyche are pretty intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm just now learning boundaries. I'd almost, gonna be going into my 30s next year. So
That's
I'm
exciting.
excited. Like a lot of people are like, oh, 30s, but I'm honestly excited because I've learned a lot within my 20s that I'm excited to take with me into my 30s.
Oh yeah. Okay, so taking the time to fill your cup.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, that's super important. You can't pour from an empty cup, And there is that fine line of selfishness and just taking care of yourself first so you can take care of others. That's probably like one of the biggest lessons I've learned being a mom. I realized, very soon into the journey of motherhood that if I'm not straight, my kids are not straight.
Right.
So, yeah, I know it's super, super important to be able to do that for yourself first. And that's why those boundaries are crucial.
Yeah.
If you don't have them, I mean, some people don't have any, and well.
And it's hard to create boundaries, especially like with people that you're close with. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's for there's a purpose behind it, because you just gotta give yourself that time to refill, and you're not being selfish, So it's like, hey, I could be there for you, maybe not right now, maybe at a later time, but I'm working on me right now.
Yeah.
And I had to learn how to say that, and I just going to Oregon for like that short period of time. When I went to Oregon, it really taught me within like literally 3 months, like I learned boundaries, because I went out there, I was literally by myself in a new city. I didn't know nobody. So I was able to,
Start over.
Yeah, start over. I was able to decline calls when they came in. It kind of got easier just to be able to work on myself. So, I think that time, I was provided that 3 months or so in Oregon to be able to work on those boundaries, learn how to say no, and just come back and, be able to be there and just reset.
Yeah. Okay. What do you do if you're setting those boundaries for yourself? And we're talking women supporting women. So let's talk about a homegirl that you had before, you kind of learned how to set those boundaries and stuff. So it's a relationship with another woman where that woman is not used to you having any boundaries, right? Like it's just like free reign. You're still gonna be there even whenever you're going through hell. You're gonna be there to listen to them and stuff. And then you go through this life lesson of putting yourself first, so that you never run out and your cup is never empty, and you can in a sense always be there for this person. So like did you have anybody who like just didn't quite understand that or had a hard time accepting that fact, and if so, how did you break it down for them? You know what I mean?
Honestly, I don't feel like I can honestly say that everyone who was in my corner was supportive of, boundaries and stuff. But if I was to experience somebody who didn't quite understand it, it's like, hey, you're going to understand it or you're not, it's not. And I feel like it might not be meant for everyone to understand, or maybe they haven't quite crossed that time in their life yet where they're setting boundaries, so they're not going to understand.
Yeah.
But maybe down the line they're going to.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, you either understand where I'm coming from, and I'm gonna have to say no sometimes. And if you don't, well, I don't really know what to say.
Yeah.
Because it might seem harsh, but it's like when you're putting yourself first, that's kind of how it goes.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, it's not even harsh. Just it is what it is. Like you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Hopefully, type of shit.
And it's become easier to set those boundaries. And then because you can kind of like know who's gonna continue on with you on the journey, who kind of got cut off. You know what I'm saying? And it's nothing personal, but I mean, not everyone's meant to go with you.
Yeah, so. Exactly. No, it's totally normal in life. I think, when you get to about your 30s, you kind of realize that, like, maintaining that inner circle is just a part of life, and it's always gonna happen, and it's necessary, and hopefully everybody goes about it and accepts it with grace.
And to kind of also touch back on to, like, supporting one another, like, women to women, while, like, setting those boundaries. I just feel like now I surround myself with people who know how to set boundaries for themselves, because who you surround yourself with says a lot about you. And it's been kind of hard to cut certain people off, but then it's not, because it's like, hey, if you don't have no goals, if you don't have no ambition to push further, like, so be it. That's on you. It's okay. But that's not for me,
It's okay. I'm going to rewind. It's okay, but it's not for me.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Real quick, that just came to my mind. Talking about, how I really do think men and women should support each other too. But do you think there's anything that men can do to kind of help women support each other? The only thing I can think of is, let's say, there's a man and a woman in a relationship, and I think just him respecting and supporting her relationships with her homegirls, and her woman, her goddess army, per se, you know what I mean? Just kind of like respecting that and supporting it, I think is phenomenal, and it's not something that all men tend to do.
Yeah, and that's true, just being able to know, like, that she has to have that time with her friends, too, and that way they could talk about their, girl things, girl problems, whatever. Because I've experienced, oh, you're putting your friends first, this and that, but it's like, no, like, I'm giving equal time, and if you don't understand that, then maybe it's just not meant to be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because I just, let people know, like, it's been a while since I've been in a relationship, just, working on myself, but just when I did experience it, I kind of wasn't at the point of, like, knowing how to set those boundaries. But now if I go back and think about it, like, I will let that person know, like, hey, these people are in my life, this is their importance, and this is what it's gonna be.
So. Well, because even in relationships, we're all our own person. Like that. You don't like merge into another being, ever. You create like this team, per se, this unit, but you're still like your own entities, your own units, your own people. and that's huge to just like be able to accept and support that just as much as you nourish that unit.
Yeah.
For sure. So take notes, fellas. But then we're gonna bring it back around to, you know, there are things that women that we really need to do for each other because we are the only ones that understand those struggles.
Yeah. And that's why I'm going, like, I had put on one women empowerment event. You were actually there.
Yes.
So, you know, I haven't put one together since then, but I just been thinking, like, so much about, you know, going back and doing events again and stuff, putting those, because I have hosted pop-ups, but more importantly, I think just those women empowerment events will be, you know, life-changing because when you're able to, like, know somebody's story, you know, and be able to hear their story or even just briefly hear their story, you know, it can really change, you know, your perspective about them, like, in a good way.
Oh,
you
for
know?
sure.
In a good way, for sure.
It makes things make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it may show you, like, oh, this is why they may act a certain way, or this is why they may do things or move a certain way, you know?
Yeah.
It helps you to understand them more. I just think, you know, filling the room with just women, just, you know, coming together, like, just being able to support one another is very important. So, I'm looking to, you know, start putting more of those events together. Because now that I think about it, like, that was like a year or two for me. But I've had a lot of growth since then, you know, and I've had a lot of real life, like, situations happen to me that have changed my outlook, and the way I look at certain stuff. So I just feel like, you know, I have a lot more to bring to the table. And there's so many powerful women that I've met within my journey. And it's crazy, like, they don't know how to use their voice. You know, they don't know, like, the power behind their story, behind their voice. And just getting women into a room, I think it could be life-changing for so many people.
Yeah, it is. That event was amazing. And what I really liked about it is, you know, I'm a woman's woman, meaning I'm always for the girls, always. Mm-hmm. But growing up, and a lot of the times, even now, well, actually, I don't know, I'm starting to become even more of a woman's woman, but I grew up being a tomboy because I often did not feel comfortable around other females because of the cattiness and the competition and the weird shit, right? So that event was, my favorite part about it was all women, and, you know, and we were vibing, obviously, you know, some of us came together and we were vibing with who we were comfortable with, but we were all in a room, just us together as women, and I felt like it made us all a little more comfortable with that, because I don't think that's, I still don't think in today in society that's like a big thing for us to really just be like comfortable around just us, because we're scared that if someone's gonna hate or judge or just, you know, have that catty attitude, and just want to kind of those low vibrations.
Yeah. And I guess, you know, it's just like speaking from experience, you know, I'm not like that anymore, but I used to be like quick to judge, you know, and that's just how I was growing up. But, you know, I try to stay away from that and not be like that anymore, you know, so quick to judge, because like I said, you just have to go through real life experiences in order for you to like, hey, everyone has their own story, you know, everyone is the way they are for a certain reason. And if you actually get to like talk to people on a deeper level, you'll understand them. And that's one thing too that I just like on this journey is like I've been able to like open up more and talk to people on a deeper level, because before I wasn't able to, but now it's like I am, and it's getting easier.
Yeah. Well, I want to say first and foremost that like humans are judgy. Like, it's not they're like the competition. There's something in that to help us. There's something in judgment to help us too, right? But then we like take it too far, and based on like our own insecurities and stuff, we might not even realize about ourselves. We might do that with others, especially when we're young.
Yeah.
And so I love to hear that you've kind of like realize that and are consciously working on that, and also like you don't want to be quick to judge others, because it's almost like as soon as you judge someone else, like someone is judging you 10 times worse than that. It's kind of like the karma of it all. Yeah. And we
karma.
Yeah. And we all go through shit, and we all, life is fucking hard for everybody, for real. We all have our struggles, reasons why we're here, and how we're meant to grow and learn. And you're right. Whenever you take the time to listen to someone, or even if they're not vocal about it, some people are not willing to put that out there and share their story. Like you said, like either they haven't found their voice yet, or they just don't have a desire to use it.
Yeah.
And you gotta hold space for that. You gotta hold space for you never know what someone's going through. Like, you never know why their attitude about something is this way, But it's so easy to judge. Girl, I do it all the time. I mean, like, it's like it's a human thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's just an instinct, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. But to consciously redirect yourself and be like, I don't know. Let at least keep your mouth shut. Like, at least keep your mouth shut and like just think about it, because you really don't want to open your mouth and really judge someone like that, because that's whenever shit gets messy.
Right. Yeah.
Shit gets messy. But yeah, I would love to see you put on more women's empowerment events, period. I think everybody, I feel like as a species, as humans, we're all kind of like evolving in the sense of, oh yeah, we do like have to put ourselves first. Self-care is like necessary.
Yeah.
So, and everybody needs and like actually wants that now.
And I see it more every day, and I think it's just, like I say, it's just super important. I always tell people, if you don't do some type of self-care, you're gonna run into burnout, and especially like in the 9-to-5 world, like I still have a 9-to-5, even though I, have my own businesses and stuff, and I tell people, like, you gotta put yourself and put your family before this company, because at the end of the day, like, you're just another number to them, and you can easily be replaced. And sometimes, like, people don't like look at it like that, but because like their job has them so scared. And I'm not gonna lie, like, yeah, that kind of used to be me, but like I said, growing, it's like, hey, if you don't like realize where I'm coming from, it's okay, I can go get another job, but I'm not gonna continue to put myself on the back burner and go into burnout because I'm just trying to like work, right. and not put myself first, because it's like being a caregiver, you can run into burnout quick. You're caring for someone else, so.
You're always giving, and that's your job. That doesn't even include like your family and your friends, and it's crazy. And we're all well, as Americans, we're all a part of this, capitalism society. Capitalism is profit motive. Profit. So yeah, we might get wrapped up in a job because we have to survive. Yeah. We have to do this. But then again, we are realizing just as much as we have to survive in capitalism, and we also have to like survive mentally as humans, and we have to put that self-care first. And I love like that you manage and you kind of explain that to your team. I'm guessing, yeah, that they, they need to put themselves first. I feel like that really encourages like a good work environment for everybody. And also, if nobody cares at the top, at least you do, and that's awesome.
Yeah, because a lot of the times, people that are at the top, like, they don't even come in. Like, they're not even in-house, to see exactly what's going on. So it's just, like, I'm basically, like, speaking for my team, and I'm like, speaking to them, too, just, like, put yourself first. If you have to take that self-care day, take that, or, they call it, like, mental health day, take it, know? And I just, express how important that is, just, and finding what works for you too, because what works for me and my self-care might not work for the next person, but,
for sure.
Just finding what works for you. Like me, like, and, like, having to go somewhere else, it's crazy because, like, Arizona, it's always, like, a lot of things to do outdoors, but me moving to Oregon, actually showed me, like, I actually like being outdoors, So now coming back to Arizona, moving back from, like, Oregon to Arizona, I, go outdoors more, do more things outdoors, that's my self-care. Just listening to, like, being able to open your windows and listen to the birds in the morning,
Feel the sunshine and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, so just, like, moving over there showed me, like, made me learn a little bit more about myself, too. Just spending that time and just, like, doing little stuff, for yourself, whether it be, like, going and getting a new, like, outfit or, getting your nails done, your hair done, just stuff like that. Because I know for me, even when I just get a haircut, you feel good about yourself,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So.
Shit, you could just get a wash that fucking feels good. You know what my little luxury is? My little self-care luxury is scents, so candles. Really into those $6 Walmart candles right now.
Yeah.
They're fucking fire.
It just makes you, I like doing that, just getting a new candle, just lighting it, and then just, like, journaling and just putting on, like, music. It doesn't have, like, no, like, words, just, like,
lo-fi.
Yeah. Just the different sound vibrations and stuff get you, like, really thinking. So, yeah, I just encourage, people to really just self-care. Every time, like, I'm talking to someone, I'm always like, self-care, guys. So it's very important.
And especially for the people who really strive to be there for others. I've had a therapist call me a very selfish person, in the sense of I put everybody first, but it's like I kind of get off on that. Like, it really does a lot for me when I do that. So, like, there's, like, this sense of I'm putting people first, but then there's this sense of I'm doing it for me as well. Not to get anything in return, just doing that makes me feel really good. It
makes you feel good.
It makes me feel really good. Like, that's why I do hair and I uplift people and want them to feel themselves, because, like, that does so much for me. And... like, I think sometimes, like, I'll come into work and I'm having a bad day or whatever, and my clients are amazing, and they'll be like, what do you want to reschedule? What do you need to do? And I'm like, no, I need to do your hair. Let me go ahead and, like, help you out real quick, because it's going to help me. And, I am being that type of person, and for everybody out there who is like that, you really have to put yourself first. And I know, like, when I was struggling with that, like whenever you went to Oregon, and that's whenever you really were, like, doing that, really kind of either not maybe cutting people off or just setting boundaries and not being available. When I was going through that, I told a couple of people that that I was always there for. Like, I kind of was that listening ear for people, and vice versa. They were that for me as well. But that was like the basis of our relationship. I kind of had to reach out to them and specifically let them know, like, I can't right now. and I don't want to tell you when you're down and you hit me up because that's gonna suck.
Yeah.
But I want you to know, like, I can't right now, and I don't know, like, when I'll be available, but I just gotta put myself first. And anybody that I told that to, if you're listening, I'm straight now. But I like those. It was probably like 2 or 3 people that I really cared enough about to even tell them what was going on. And I just it kind of like that was kind of it for our friendship. I feel like, which is interesting.
And it's crazy, you know, because we feel so, I don't know what, like, the word that I'm looking for, but, like, I guess we feel, like, obligated to tell people, but it's, like, at the end of the day,
You don't even have to do that.
Yeah, you don't, you know, and I learned that, like, because I used to always feel so guilty when I wasn't available, when people were so used to me being available. But then when, like I said, when you learn those boundaries and you're not available anymore, they're like, well, what's going on? Like, why are you acting weird? And I'm like, I'm not acting weird. Don't take it, you know, in that sense. But it's just, I'm evolving. I'm changing. You know, I'm going with where I'm supposed to be. And that's why, like, I really limit who I surround myself with, because I don't know if you've ever noticed, but if you ever get around certain people, girl, and then when you leave from around them, you feel like your energy is just like, dang, I feel tired. I feel
like shit.
Yeah, because that energy transferred over to you.
Yeah.
You know?
No, for sure. And yeah, I think that's huge, keeping that in mind. Like, you can tell people, but in my personal experience, when I did that, I feel like maybe it was taken another way. I don't know, maybe motherfuckers been busy and we just haven't talked in a long time. I really don't know what it is, but all I know is after I had that conversation, boop.
Yeah.
Like, that was kind of it. And you know, I don't know if it would have been better if I just would have, like, stepped away and low-key, like, ignored people, you know, and just wasn't available. But I think whichever way you go and however the outcome is, like you said, it is what it is. Like, you gotta do that for yourself.
And those real, like, if your friends are your true friends, and they know, like, and they've been there with you, like, you know, through all your ups and your downs, like, they're gonna realize, or, you know, they're gonna be like, okay, she's taking care of her right now, but, like, she'll come back around, you know. And I realized, like, my true friends, like, you don't even gotta call, like, just call when you're ready to talk, you know, call when you're feeling better, call when, you know, you're good and you got everything back on track, and then we'll talk about it, you know?
Yeah.
And those are the type of people that I need in my life, because it's like I don't need to explain anything, you know, but they understand.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like I could go like 6 months without talking to a couple of my good friends, but I call them, we hang out, and it's like we never even fell off, you know?
Yeah.
So those are the type of people that we need in our life. It's like, hey, you guys understand life happens, right?
Yeah.
So we'll come back around.
And for my friends who are like that, y'all know who the fuck you are, and I love you so much, always. Like, and it's just so appreciated. Like, yeah, they just get it because they go through shit themselves, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, again, it's okay if people don't get it. It's okay. I want to kind of go back around to the whole capitalism thing and working and stuff, and how important it is for women to really support each other in those environments. Just like, let's say if we have a coworker and one of us, you know, you're pregnant or they're pregnant, I think it's big to just be understanding of that and not judgmental of if that pregnant woman just, like, takes off for the rest of the day because she's about to pass out. I've experienced that, and I had I was pregnant. I had to go home because I felt I was gonna pass out, and then I had to take that. Lasted for like a couple days. It happens. I don't know. You're growing a human. I don't even know what it is. So, and then whenever I came back, I had a manager and an assistant manager, both women, but both did not have kids, and was like, "So, what's going on? Like, was that because you're pregnant?" Like, and I guess I appreciate them asking because they legit didn't know, but I did not feel like supported. I felt judged.
Yeah.
You know, and like, and for any situation as a woman, you know, like, whatever is going on in your life, if there's some oppression in the workplace by like male bosses or male coworkers, or maybe, you know, unfortunately maybe even other women, like, how we can really recognize that and support people in that way. Is there any instances you managing where you saw the need that you really needed to support another woman?
Yeah, just like, you know, when you work with someone, you like kind of know their ways. So like if something's off, it's like, hey, what's going on? You know, I'm not like not approaching them like, you know, making them feel bad that they're going through something, but it's like, hey, I'm here to help.
Right.
You know, because just offering that listening ear can go a long way. You know, like they could be going through some shit at home, and you don't know what's going on at home. You don't know what their home life is like. You know what I'm saying? You don't know if work is their only getaway from what they got going on at home. So you never know what could be going on. So just offering that like listening ear, because I wasn't provided that either. You know, it's always like jumping to conclusions type stuff instead of like, hey, I'm here for you.
I'm here to help. I'm here for you.
Yeah, it feels like they're going against you, and it's like, why are you like putting me in this awkward position?
Why is it that easy? You're not getting paid to do
Yeah.
that.
So, you know, me being in a position where people look up to me, you know, and managing people, just like I said, being that listening ear, letting them know like, hey, it is a safe space here. We could talk about it, and your business like doesn't go any further than us, you know.
Yeah.
That's why it's hard for people to open up, is because they're like, can I even trust you?
Yeah.
You know. So,
No, seriously.
Um.
Yo, shout out to all the women, you know, including yourself, that like that curate these safe spaces for others in general, but you know, also specifically for other women. I've had a whole bunch of women on Whiz Babble talking about this, and that actively all the time hold space for other women and are really those go-to people, like, that are really there to help and not to judge.
Right.
And also know how to set boundaries and know when they don't have it in them and how to handle that. And just like shout out all of y'all. You know, y'all are fucking goddesses, man. You know, just fucking angels. And you know, I learn from y'all all the time. You know, y'all just in being that way and setting that example, like, teach me a lot and help me become a better, more supportive woman. So
and just, you know, realizing, like I said, it's not all about that competition and stuff, because I always used to see, like I said, everyone has a competition, but
yeah,
not anymore. Like, I don't.
Well, like, what does it do for you? Like, when you do that, like, what is it really doing? You know?
Yeah.
Like, not much.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, not much. It's not doing much.
Like, what is like women empowerment, or just empowerment in general, is just I just feel like, you know, being that a person in the community that people look up to, like, I don't take it lightly. You know, I take that very serious, and then I don't let it, like, how do I say it? Like, I'm trying to look for the words. Like, I don't let it, like blow up my head, you know? Like, I really, just
You let it humble you and you don't
Yeah.
let it get to your head.
Yeah, for sure. Because a lot more people than I even think, like, really watch my journey, look up to me, be like, oh, where you at, Yanni? I haven't seen you post in a while, this and that. Like, and I'm like, oh, you're looking for, like, my next move. Like, not looking for my next move, but, like, you're looking for, like, an update on my journey. Like, that means a lot to me, you know?
They care to see you grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't, like, know that a lot of people were really, like, watching my journey and stuff. And that just, it makes me feel, like, you know, really good. So, like, I just think that empowerment is just being able to, like, have a positive, like, influence in the community. And I just think that it's important. So, yeah.
Yeah, it is important. It's super important, especially, you know, as women and women entrepreneurs. I feel like a lot of people who tend to be suppressed within a workplace because of capitalism, because capitalism and the motive for profit just kind of breeds that like super greedy attitude and nastiness, toxicity. Because that happens, I feel like a lot of oppressed people, including women, are really looking towards entrepreneurship and doing stuff for themselves and kind of setting their own standards of holding that space for people and being there for people. And I want like all women entrepreneurs to keep that in mind. Like, there could be so much purpose behind starting your own business as far as creating that space, especially when you get to the point where you have employees, whether they be, you know, men and women, whatever. Like, just make sure that it's a supportive, safe space. Because what's the point of, like, really starting your own business? You want it to be different than all this corporate shit. Don't become the monster that you just fucking ran from, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So I put in here, you know, just getting back to queen power. I feel like queen power is being able to support and uplift yourself first and foremost, and others, especially other women. Okay, so this is key, because you can support people, but sometimes people are a little two-faced in their support. So queen power is supporting yourself and others without any kind of jealousy or malice. Key.
Yeah, that's very key.
Key. Okay, there's a difference, y'all. You know, like, basically true genuine support, you know, to empower and uplift each other just holds so much power in itself. And I do believe that it is the reason that we have come so far, and that we're going to continue to grow and go farther with each other. One woman cannot stand up and make everything better for all of us.
And I just feel like, you know, like, women's empowerment is just, like, helping one another work towards, like, one particular goal. Like, you know, everyone has one particular goal in mind, but it's just, like, coming together to help each other, like, gain that confidence in your business. Because, like, sometimes, like, having confidence in your business can be it could be a struggle in the beginning, you know?
Yeah, sure. Having that confidence in yourself is a struggle.
Yeah, that definitely is true, you know? So when you have other people supporting you, supporting your vision, and coming together, like, everyone has that one particular goal, and that's just to, you know, evolve.
Yeah, and I feel like as women, we have a lot of pressure on us to do all the things. We can't have hair in certain places. Our hair needs to be done. Our makeup needs to be done. We gotta be dressed a certain type of fucking way. It's ridiculous. Fuck most of that, by the way. But I'm still, like, I'm still falling for it. Because I do feel like such a fucking pressure to look a certain way even when I fucking do this. You know what I mean? Right. It's like, who's fucking telling me to do? Society?
And yeah, and you're so right, you know, it was hard for me for, like, a long time, because, like, growing up, I was, like, a real, like, tomboy too, you know, and especially through fashion. And I kind of feel like now society has like set this thing in my mind, like, oh, I gotta, you know, you're an entrepreneur, you gotta dress like more girly and stuff like that. But I'm like, says who? Like,
Says who?
you know, like,
Yeah.
I want to wear like basketball shorts and my high tops, I'm gonna do that, you know. Like,
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's just being able to like have that confidence. That could be hard sometimes, and that's just because of society.
Yeah, and whatever it may be, you know, if your confidence comes from the makeup and the hair and everything, I totally get it. It's literally what I do for a living. But if it comes from elsewhere, then fuck yeah, like whatever. Like no judgment, just uplifting and support over here. Yeah, you guys, let's all come together. Let's support each other more so than hating on each other or judging each other. We're all in this.
Together.
Yeah, we're all in this together for real. So thank you so much, girl. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Of course. Thanks, y'all. Thanks for listening to this babble.
Thank you.
Women support women. Period.